Hey everyone, welcome into the Flippin' Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star. If you're new here or you have not already, please subscribe to the channel and help us feed a hungry hippo. Today we're going to be taking a look at our Mercari sales from over the summer and this special version of what sold on Mercari. I've been doing a little series on this show of our summer sales. We looked at plush and jeans that had sold on eBay over the summer, our Poshmark sales over the summer, and now we'll be looking at Mercari. If you're not aware, there was a time over the summer where I took a long break from YouTube. I had gone to several reseller events, in-person events. I had been in the hospital for a couple of weeks with Lyme disease. My son came to visit. So there was just about, well, probably the whole summer, several months where I took a break from YouTube and did not do any of these what sold videos. And so I thought it would be fun in September as we move into the fall and towards Q4 to just kind of do an overview and a look back over the summer and look at our summer sales. Summer is typically known as the summer slowdown, and sales do get slower over the summer. This year's been really funky. Actually, things have been weird since COVID, but this year with the economy and the prices of everything going up, summer slowdown was really slow for a lot of people. And for us, you know, me taking 6 weeks off essentially didn't help either. But we didn't do too bad. Our plush sales on Mercari were really great. We sold a lot of plush on this platform and some high-end ones. High dollar. Money. All right, so I pulled up some highlights. You can see all the tabs at the top. We'll go over each one of those. I've pulled up every single plush that sold. We can talk about those. And I pulled up some highlights of some other clothing items and things that we sold that I wanted to talk about with you, whether it's because they're really good bread and butter brands or bolos that you should be looking for. Bolo is to be on the lookout for if you didn't know. But first, we'll just kind of take a quick overview of all of our sales from the summer. So I went into my List Perfectly catalog and I asked it to sort to just show me things that sold on Mercari. And that's what it did for me. And over here on the updated column right here, it's going to highlight everything. But you can see right here where my mouse is. That's the updated column. You can see the last date it was updated. We mark items sold when they sell. So I can pretty much go down and look for June 1st. And that would be the beginning of our summer sales on Mercari. You've got Nike polo shirts, jeans, tank tops, men's Rock Republic Sonoma polo shirt, Tommy Bahamas, Columbia's. We sold a random video game. You'll see some remotes come by. You're going to see the plush, but we'll talk about those in more depth. But a lot of men's button front shirts and jeans, just like we sold on Poshmark. Essentially, we list mostly jeans and plush and a lot of men's button front shirts as well. We do have a lot of remotes, and those sell more often on Mercari and eBay than Poshmark. But you can just kind of see here all of our sales. Not too bad for a slower platform, especially when one of us took 6 weeks off. Let's take a look at individual items I've pulled up to talk about, starting with this Animal Adventure pink unicorn. I do like Animal Adventure. I think it's a solid bread and butter brand. Some of the animals in the larger plush can go for over $20 at times. But for the most part, it's a filler brand. It's a bread and butter. This guy's cute. I believe he came from a wholesale lot. He may have been 50 cents at the Goodwill, but I'm not sure that he's that old. Build-A-Bear cat, just a white Build-A-Bear cat, $11. That's kind of low for a Build-A-Bear. I like to start them around 18. But sometimes when things have been sitting, I will take offers and let them go. Don't marry your inventory, but don't be a part of the problem of racing to the bottom. The difference between being willing to let something go and being a part of the problem and racing to the bottom is your starting price. If you start something at market value and you run sales on it, or you take offers or send offers, you're not contributing to that race to the bottom. It's when you start to your start prices at those lower prices. I would never list a Build-A-Bear at $11. I would list them at $18 and then entertain offers and sales. Does that make sense? Here we have a vintage 90s Busy World of Richard Scarry, which is a series of books, children's books by Richard Scarry with all these little animals in their little busy world doing their busy animal stuff. I think it was a TV show too. I just remember the books from when I was a kid. This is Hilda Hippo. Hilda Hippo is really cute. Like super cute, guys. She's got eyelashes. She was sent to me in a box of plush from a viewer. You guys probably remember me opening it. She hung out in my office with me until she found her new forever home because she was cute and I liked her. And she sold for $23. Next up, we have a Godiva Easter Bunny, Rabbit, and Baby. So this came out of a wholesale lot as well. Sold for $30. So keep your eyes out for those Godiva Easter Bunny plush, guys. I mean, $30 is nothing to sneeze at. An Eden PBS dog. So this is from Arthur. If you guys know the Aardvark Arthur, he's a show on PBS by Mark Brown. This is his dog. This thing was 11 inches, so it wasn't too small. Sold for $20. Here's another Build-A-Bear Bunny Rabbit. This one sold for $12. You can see the starting price is $18. So it went on offers. This is just a plain white Easter Bunny. Here's a Jessie from Toy Story. She's just like a soft doll with a hard head. I sold a lot of Woodies similar to this. The long, soft doll body with the hard head. Jessie sold for $12. As I go through these, unless I specify otherwise, these plush all came out of wholesale lots, whether it was the ones I purchased from my friend Leslie or from American Thrift Supply or somewhere else. They always average out to around $1 to $1.50 a piece. So you can keep that in mind for the cost of goods. And unless I tell you I sourced it somewhere else, we'll just assume that's where all the plush came from. So I don't have to keep repeating that to you guys. This is Baby Bop from Barney and Friends. Baby Bop and BJ, the yellow one, sell really fast. Barney's a little slower. Barney's a little more oversaturated. He takes a little bit longer to sell. There's a lot of Barneys online. There's not as many Baby Bops and BJs, and BJ actually sells for more money than either of them. He comps higher. The last BJ I sold, I think, was like 18, maybe 20. Here is a Build-A-Bear Shamrock teddy bear. So this is a Build-A-Bear that has Shamrock printed all over him for St. Patrick's Day. He's super cute. I've had several like this or with like the hearts for Valentine's Day. Anytime I see the specialty Build-A-Bears, I like to grab them. This is one I did grab on my own. He was only 50 cents when I picked him up. He did take a while to sell. Plush is very long tail. So if you're considering getting into it or you're already into it and didn't know that, Plush is very long tail. It is probably one of, if not the slowest category to sell on any online selling platform. Of course, you're going to find your plush that are going to sell really fast. Sometimes you're going to list one and just be in the right place at the right time and the right buyer sees it immediately and buys it very quickly. But for the most part, plush, you know, a plush that sits around for a year is like saying a pair of jeans sat around for 3 to 6 months. It's very slow. It does take a lot of room to store. So keep that in mind. But it's also very light to ship. It's super easy to photograph, super easy to comp and list. It's usually really cheap. You can find them out in the wild, just a dime a dozen. So it has its pros and cons. Next up, we have a Build-A-Bear Classic Puppy Dog. This one sold for $25. I have so many Build-A-Bear dogs, and they all look alike. This one was different. He's the classic, which is why I listed him a little higher. The other ones, they're like usually light brown or dark brown, and they have little spots on their eyes. Those ones I started at 18. This is a Kristoff from Disney's Frozen. He's a plush doll. He sold for $12. Here is Lamb Chop Hand Puppet by Aurora. It sold for $20. I started her at $25. I was happy to take a best offer. Anything Lamb Chop, you guys, it's not necessarily that it was Aurora. It helps that it was a hand puppet that drove up its value. But anything Lamb Chop I've noticed sells for good money and usually sells pretty fast for plush. And a Disney Pixar Finding Nemo Dory plush. So this was an official Disney. I've had Dories and Build-A-Bear as well. Both sold for a little bit more than the Disney one. This one sold for $14. And that's the end of the plush. And then we're just going to talk about a handful of other items. I wanted to show you the Nike Golf Dry Fit Polo. A lot of people will avoid these now. They say they're poop. Keith and I grab them when we find them for 99 cents. And they'll sell from 12 to right around 16, 18. If you have like an extra large, you can list it for more money at like 18. But they sell steadily. They're not super fast, but they do sell quicker than other brands of polos. I wouldn't say Nike's a huge polo, but if you like to do volume sales or you like to have bread and butter or filler items, if you're trying to build up, your overall active listing amount, and you can find these for $1.50 or less, then I would suggest getting them because they do sell pretty steadily. This is a pair of jeans that came to me in a thread-up box. I'd never heard of STS. It's kind of like low-end bread and butter. I probably would not source this brand in the wild, but I would not hesitate to list it if it came to me in a box. Sold for $16. Tommy Bahama, you guys are familiar with that. This is just a plain orange. It kind of has like, you can kind of see the palm trees print, but it's nothing too loud or too, big of a graphic. So $20. It is silk. Some of the Tommy Bahamas that have like the really bright, loud graphics, you can get a lot more money for. Columbia PFG Vintage Fishing Shirt. Keith and I love the Columbia PFG Vintage Fishing Shirts. We used to find them by the handful in Florida. They're fewer and far between here in Pittsburgh, but we still pick them up when we find them. This one sold for $20. Koi, I've mentioned this in my Poshmark video, and I've mentioned it in plenty of eBay what sold videos. Koi is a brand of scrubs I always look for. I like the shirts because they look like blouses and they'll have cute prints, and they look more like a cute woman's top than like a scrub top traditionally. I do pick up the pants when I find them for 99 cents as well. These were size extra large, sold for $14. We sold a $22 remote, so I pulled this one up to show you. You saw when we were flipping through List Perfectly catalog. We sold a lot of remotes over the summer on Mercari. We sell a lot of remotes. We buy them in bulk. However, some of them are worth showing you because if you found this as a one-off at like a garage sale or a church sale or an estate sale or something like that, you would want to pick it up. So it has these buttons on it. You can see the Vudu, Netflix, YouTube, and Google Play. It's a genuine Philips Smart TV remote control. And if you want to write the model number down, it's right there for you. RF402A. These start at like $27 to $30. We take offers on them. Our cost of goods on remotes is usually right around 8 cents a piece, maybe even a little bit less. This is a brand of shirt that Keith and I love to source when we find it, and we don't find it often. I wish we could find it way more. Roar. And it's always button front shirts, and they're always fancy. They either look Western, or they'll have big graphics on them, or they'll be embroidered. They're just always super fancy shirts. I love to grab these. We'll pick these up even when they're not 99 cents. We'll pay up to $2.50 and $3. If you can find the extra large ones, you can get even more money. Of course, we took a best offer on this one at $24. We wanted $30 originally, but These sell pretty fast. So look for these Roar shirts. We sold an ugly Christmas sweater in August. So August 7th, it sold the same day that I relisted it. So this was an item that I had delisted and relisted on Mercari, and it sold that same day in August. It's a generic brand. It's an ugly Christmas sweater. It wasn't even Christmas in July. But I do periodically like to delist and relist on Mercari because the way their offer system works, you're going to get to where you're not going to want to send out offers anymore because it's too low. So you have to start over again. True Religion jeans. These are women's. They sold for $40. This is what they look like. These are straight leg. I heard straight legs coming back in fashion. I don't know anything about fashion, and I never have pretended to or proposed to know. I'm fashion dumb. Hashtag fashion dumb. I literally live my life in blue jeans and graphic tees. And when I'm in the house, it's t-shirts and pajama bottoms. I absolutely have no idea about fashion. But I heard straight leg pants are doing really well on Poshmark, and they're coming back. So something to keep in mind. Madewell t-shirt. Okay, first of all, before anybody comes at me, I know this shirt looks awful. It's wrinkled. This is terrible. This is terrible. I can't even pretend to understand or know why we listed it. I don't know if I took the pictures or Keith did, but they're awful. Look at this shirt. It's just terrible. But moving past that, if you can find those Bolo brands of jeans and shirts, grab them. They're not going to sell for as much money, but they're going to sell pretty quickly, and they're going to sell for good money. This is a plain, nothing special about it, size medium, blue t-shirt that sold for $18. There's nothing special about this shirt other than the fact that it says Madewell. So whenever I find Madewell, Lucky brand, I have found other brands of jeans and t-shirts. I always grab them. I could go on with the examples, but you'll know when you see them because if you're a jean seller, you're familiar with all the good brands of jeans. And you can get like a plain t-shirt like this and put up a shitty picture and still get $18. So don't pass up on those t-shirts that are the brands of the good jeans. Bowden is another good one to look for. And that would be the end of the highlights from all of these sales that you can see over here. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns about anything you saw in this video, reselling in general, selling on Mercari, you guys know you can always leave me a comment below. I do get back to and answer everybody. Sometimes it takes me a while. I don't pretend I'm fast. I'm really slow about answering comments. Sometimes I'm same day, but I do answer everyone eventually. If you want a faster response, join my Facebook group, Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. There's a link down below, or you can just look for us. Do a search and tag me, and I'll get back to you a little bit more quickly. All right, guys, go be productive, go make some money, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Y'all are the best. Bye.